Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Clannad, episode 20. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
Tomoya has moved into the Furukawa residence. He is a part of the Big Dango family. Is he? Because, you know, him and Nagisa totally aren't dating or anything. He's just staying with her because he needs a home right now.
Yeah. It's just very, very wholesome and connected. And he feels like he has a place of belonging.
Yep.
And she feels a little bit more intimate and close with him. And yet, they have this, like, kind of underlying tension that is keeping them from breaking through the, not the ice, but like the, this veil of sorts.
He is becoming a lot more privy to the family drama of the Furukawas because he's living with them, right?
And he could end up being privy to a lot more
Who
very
knows?
soon. Oh no, we only have 4 more episodes.
I mean, hey, you know, the theater club is you know, up and running, so that's good.
That is true. I would love to see just them walking to school together and just having some good casual conversations.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I really love their dynamic. I also would love to see more instances where, if they're at the school, they can have the other characters who were all competing earlier then be supportive, you know?
Oh, sure, yeah. In addition to just the, damn, they're already living together. Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, Tsunohara already had his commentary.
Exactly, and that was wonderful.
Yeah. I practically see him, like, pulling the Jotaro cap and just, yada, does he?
Exactly, yep.
All right, but y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Aww. Practicing. Oh. I love how many scenes we've had with them, like, underneath, like, just a soul-lit spot. It's kind of like they're on a stage, you know?
Yep, with a spotlight and everything. Probably why she stands there.
But I'm not alone. You should see him with a bat, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Shock. She hangs on your every word, my man. Oh.
Translation, I love you just the way that you are.
Yeah. Oh shit, so the other, like, space or what have you. Yeah. Oh, Winter Fantasia. Oh, the opening where she's lying in the snow. Oh. Maybe that's not a story, girl. Maybe that's actually... Yeah, it starts with snow.
Winter Fantasia, you know?
That could be
I
an
fucking
actual
love
memory.
this OP.
That's probably a weekly occurrence.
Oh, yeah. If not daily.
It looks moldy! What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a story. It's a memory. Hey, brat. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, of course you're not. No, ever. feels interesting. Like, if there is some kind of health issue with Nagisa, giving him a blank check to search the house feels a little bit, like, intrusive. Like, maybe on Nagisa? What is this, monster? We're looking for a children's book?
Right. And slowly, you come to realize.
It's all as it should be.
僕のことが好きな子がわかるおまじないとかあったら教えてくれない？今真面目な話をしてるんだぞ。
My man. Oh damn, she hit him with the you know? Okay, okay.
To love, to be
To
loved,
love, to be loved, to dump, to dump, to love, to love,
to love, to be loved, to be loved, to be dumped, to be dumped. Blah.
で、その次は
校舎を一周して最初に話しかけてくれた女の子、それがあなたのことを思っている人です。
That, weirdly enough,
That sounds like it could be
actually is not a bad idea, but
Yeah.
that other stuff is bullshit.
Right. It's just who comes up and talks to you.
古川さんのことですね。
Ah! Immediately. No girls talk to him. My man.
お前何周してきたんだ？誰にも声かけられなかったのかよ。
Did Tomoyo at least kick you or something? Like, you know,
今お水入
maybe
れ
that could count?
次は岡崎さんの番ですね。
Uh-huh.
俺もやるのか？
指でハートを作ってください。
Yeah.
角原邪魔。
Oh no.
なぜだかわからないが、こいつと恋愛関係になることには非常な抵抗を感じる。
He kind of like looked at the camera almost.
お腹を空かせたクマがうろついているんだ。
Its name is Tomoyo.
死んだふりをしながらかけていけ。あたかもゾンビのようにだ。
Wait. What does playing dead look like for her?
岡崎さん、
And there, yeah,
さっ
yep,
きから
yeah,
探しに来まし
immediately.
た。何してらしたんですか？
And he already forget that interaction even happened, so
Yeah.
Nagisa's the first.
Yeah.
廊下へどうぞ。最初に声をかけてくれる方が岡崎さんを思っている女性ですよ。
You said loves earlier, now you say
Yeah.
cares.
Mm-hmm.
皆さん集まってますよ。
Even Tsunohara is now dejected. He knows what this means too.
小学生の頃、これをランドセルにつけて学校に通ってたんです。団子。
お前そういうの卒業しろよ。
誰だ物置で恥ずかしい
はい
歌を歌ってるやつは。
Fuck
あん
off.
たの娘だ。
こんなとこには絵本なんかないぞ。
探せば出てくるかもしれないだろ
ねえったらね、さっさと部屋に戻って若者らしく
は
作り上げてる。
う。何一人で興奮してるんだよ。
いいからさっさと出ろ。ほらほら。
お
今から話すことは渚にはないぞ。早苗にもこうして俺と内緒話
Oh
をして
shit,
ることは
okay.
言うな
Is this serious?
蒸し返したくない。
I can't tell with him sometimes.
Yeah.
わかった。
おい早苗、お茶入れてくれ。で、早苗にも内緒だって言ったばかりだろ俺は。
He just can't keep any secrets
Yeah.
from her.
頭の構造してるんだよ。
What's with this?
これで一安心。実はだな小僧。
はい、お茶です。
おう、サンキュー。
Oh, thank
岡
you.
崎さんもどうぞ。
は
You guys can go back to your secret conversation
い
now.
やー、やっぱり日本人は茶だぜ。いいか、念を押すが、渚や早苗には内緒だぞ。
私がどうかしましたか？
真横にいるじゃねえか。
飲み終わったら下がりますから気にせずにどうぞ。
クソクソ、とっとと飲むぞ。
あ。あんたわざとやってるんじゃないだろうな。
Damn it, he caught
落ち着
on.
いて話せるぜ。
Oh my god.
I said,
いい時に使ってたおまるなんか興味はねえんだ。
No, no one asked about that.
お前
Yeah.、
必死に探してたろうが。
探してたのはおまるじゃない。絵本だ。
お二人さん。そうです。お静かにお願いしますね。
I love them so much.
コードネームおまるということでどうだ。
Oh, I just realized what's going on.
話を続けるぞ。
He's scared to talk about this, and so he keeps delaying it.
Yep.
Yeah.
違うもの？
聞きたいか。
Talking about all the old memories with Nagisa.
教えてやる。 隠してあるのがエロ本1万冊なんて想像されるのも嫌だからな。
Oh my
そ
god.
んな想像してない。
あの物置にしまってあるのだな。俺と早苗の過去だ。
Oh god.
昔の写真とか日記だ。
Oh. Okay.
そこ
We
に
made
い
a
るのは
porno mag together.
夢
It
を追っ
was
ていた若い
very spicy.
渚は小さい頃。
Here we go. Here we go.
一回死にかけてるんだよ。あいつはある日渚が熱を出した。雪の降る寒い日だった。
Okay.
保育所は休み。世話をしてくれそうな相手も見つからない。
Young
俺
couple.
も早苗も忙しい時期で仕事を休むわけにはいかなかった。
Oh shit.
熱は下がっていたし、俺も自分の用事が終われば帰れる。
Oh, that's scary.
ほんの
Yeah.
2時間くらいのことだったんだ。だが
Oh.
渚は外に出て俺たちを待っていたんだ。神様が罰を与えたと思った。夢ばかり追っていて自分の娘をずっと一人にしてた俺たちから渚を奪っていくんだと思った。世の中には子供を育てるのも夢を追うのもちゃんと両立できる人も多いだろう。でも俺たちにはできなかった。
No, no, no.
渚が目を開けた時、俺たちは誓った。ずっとこいつのそばにいようってな。俺たちは商売買いをした。パン屋にしたのは早苗がパンなら自信があるって言ったからだ。で、相手見りゃあんなんだから。結局俺が言った
So you had to learn everything, and you did.
Yep.
随分借金
You've
も
been
したし
carrying this business on your back since.
ま
Yeah.
あ楽しかったけどな。
Ugh.
それを渚に知られたら困るのか？
と渚はこう思うだろう。自分のせいで俺と早苗は夢を諦めたって。
きちんと説明すれば、それぐらい受け止められる強さを持ってるやつだと思うぞ。
かもしれねえが、いきなりぶちまけちまったらきっとショックを受けるだろう。
You have to build up to these things. You can't just come all direct and aggressive with it. And so
That's-
sudden.
It's when you tell them.
いつも過酷なもんだからな。突然だが、ここで問題です。明日の日曜日に向けて俺が計画していたことがある。これは何でしょう。
You-
1
you-
ピクピク、2ピクピク、3ピクリンさん。
最後のがわからないです。ピクリンさん
Is Twitch even a thing at this point?
He's ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
そうなんですか。
My man's about to like get
They're-
bought out by Amazon.
They're gonna become a family of streamers, you know.
Little do we know his name is Justin. He's gonna start a website
と
called.
いうわけで明日は楽しくピクピクだ。
なぎさん、お母さんとピクニックに行きましょうね。
Let's not do whatever his weird suggestion is.
普通の親子ってああいうものだと思う。俺は遠慮すべきだろうな。
Don't you
Cut
fucking
that shit.
dare. Yeah.
親父、何してるだろう。
誰かいる。
今さら驚くなよ。
岡崎、なんでいるの。
別に。ちゃんと書き置きしてきたよ。用事ができたから3人で行ってくれって。
渚ちゃんのことだから、いろいろ
Yeah, you should have been more specific in your
Yeah.
lie.
And she'll probably know what's
心
up.
地が悪いんじゃないか。渚ちゃんはいつだっていろんなことに自信がない。不安がってる。僕にはそう見えるけどね。
Wow, Sunohara.
Yeah.
自分に自信がついてきたって言ってたぞ。
Yeah, that shows she wasn't in the previous bit.
お前が背中
Yeah,
を
that
押したり
too.
叱ってくれたりするから、いろんなことに挑戦できるし、自信もつく。
いいことじゃないか。
だからさ、
Hell
そこだ
yeah.
よそこ。
So be with her more often.
よく考えてみ。自信がついたのはお前の
Oh
ことで
shit, lay on the
お前に
list.
そっぽ抜かれたら今まで気づいてきた自信はどうなっちゃうわけ？渚ちゃんは自分がお前にどう思われてるかいまいちわからない。
Like, Sunohara is such a Chad sometimes.
渚ちゃんを苦しめてるんだよ。
Keep going.
Yeah.
自分の家から逃げ出して、渚ちゃんの家からも逃げ出して、
Hmm.
それでここに来られても迷惑っす。ま、どうしても嫌だって言うなら、僕がお前の代わりに。
Okay, now you have to go.
渚！
岡崎さん、
Oh.
ました。
置き手紙読んでないのか。
いえ、私知らないです。
Hell yeah, the parents destroyed it. Yeah.
Mhm.
俺の手紙は、
なあ、あんなもんは朝飯の
Yep. Hell yeah.
おっさん。
てめえのせいで出かけられなかった。
Yeah.
責任取って相手しろ。
え
Mm-hmm.
今日は大当たりだぞ。
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
お
直しただろ
とっても素敵です明夫さん
う。そうだろう。
何も C と
They're
表現な
so
くてもいい
adorable.
よ
岡崎さんこのお
That's
弁
so
当
much
私が
food, though.
作ったんです
Oh my goodness.
食べてください
あ
Disassembled hamburger.
あうまい
Oh.
よかったです
小僧、次はてめえの打順だぞ。
Ah.
さっさとバッターボックス
Get in there.
わかった
I'll
よ。
make him wait.
この
Hey,
腕
hey,
で
hey.
振
Put
れ
that.
るかな
Get to the bottom. Hit the bottom, man.
おっしゃいいぞ小僧。見たか渚。
はいしっかり見ました
俺直しただろ。
お父さん
Isn't that just a wonderful anime confession?
渚の打順だろ。
私も打つんですか
頑張れ渚。いいぞ渚。
Yeah.
走れ渚。
I swear to God, if she drops and like faints or something like that, I'm going to.
Trips, hits her head on a rock,
Okay,
you
good.
know.
Oh, okay. Ah.
The
So happy.
dad coming in clutch for the love confession.
That dad is amazing.
Isn't he
He's
great?
just like, he's like, I'm a little shit. I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
I'll take a potato chip and
And
eat it. My man here was multitasking the fuck out of his whole
Doing
thing.
some light Yagami like
It's
strategy
like, what?
stuff there.
Leave without you? Bro, take responsibility.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that. We need more anime couples. Like grown
Right.
anime couples.
ugh,
Fantastic.
ugh.
I love this show.
Ah, this show's great. This is a really good show. So we got our love confession,
Yep.
and the fucking dad is just like, I'm so smug here. Ah, you fell in love with me all over again.
Right. Okay, so Sanai, we'll be doing our usual thing, right?
Right,
Hi.
right.
Yeah.
They were even practicing saying just I love you too, in just the randomest context in the previous day.
And is that something that was intentional? Who's to say?
Who's to
it could
say?
be, but it could also just be that they love each other so much that they're just constantly, telling each other and all that stuff, Yeah.
I think that one of the most important silly things that a lot of people who are in relationships need to kind of get over is not PDA in the physical sense, but PDA in the goofy sense. Yes,
Right.
other people are gonna be like, oh god,
the
really?
you sappy lovebird, stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah.
But it literally gives some people faith in humanity all over again.
Exactly.
Or it gives some other people the confidence to be like, oh, right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what do you know? Fucking Sunahara was right. Love blossomed for the person who ended up going there.
Right.
What do you know?
And maybe it had been for a while.
Oh, of course it had. Of course it had.
yeah, of
but
course.
she actually said it though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The characters in this show are an absolute treasure. And I love how in some ways, they'll play to the archetype trope, like Sunahara being the, the friend and all of that stuff, or the kind of irresponsible dad,
Yep.
But it is such a delight to watch.
It's so fun.
Akio and Sanai, their dynamic is just golden.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Yeah, the way that Akio is keep this a secret from Sanai and Nagisa, and he keeps saying that, when it's oh yeah, he knows that Sanai is around, right? Oh yeah.
My man was stalling so hard. He, of course, it makes sense that he brings up Twitch. He actually is a streamer. He was
He's
dragging
stretching that content.
He's dragging that content out for so long, and yet it makes so much sense that from his perspective, he would not want to share that story.
Right.
That terrifies me. I'm not a dad. I'm not a father, but the idea that, I'd end up in a situation where my baby girl would need me, or my wife, for instance, and we both are too busy at work,
And
and just for a small period of 2
Right.
hours because they apparently aligned their schedules up in such a way that there was only a 2-hour window where they're actually both not at the house, which
Right.
is impressive given that, probably for her work schedule, she probably is like gone from early morning till like 3 to 5 p.m. Like she could be gone for a very long time. So whatever his deal was, it might not have even been a work
Right, and
thing.
he wouldn't even bring it up, but he managed to put in the work and everything, and okay, do it as fast as he could, whatever.
Yeah.
2 hours later, he's back. Right, 2 hours, that shouldn't be a problem, right? And because normally it would just be they'd have a sitter or however it would work, but oh no, she's sick. The stuff couldn't line up. We couldn't get someone to watch her.
Wait, that actually doesn't make sense. His would have to be earlier in the day.
I'm not sure.
Because she's a teacher. Anyway,
Point is,
The point is, he
something
came back first.
Right, something
And-
that theoretically, you could say it was a mistake. It was a decision. It could have gone just fine.
Yeah.
Right. It could have gone just fine. A
But
couple
she was
hours later,
so
the fever
scared.
was coming down. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And then
she had such a bad episode of the fever that she walked outside, which I'll tell you, when you have a really bad fever and you get up and start walking, that usually means you're delirious to the point that you're actually hallucinating. Like, because generally speaking, a fever just saps so much strength and energy out of you that you will just sit there and sweat, and it
takes you out. Yeah.
It takes you out. It takes you out pretty hard. But if she's getting up, that means she's disoriented. She's probably scared. She's probably really, really like out of sorts in a like a mental aspect.
right,
as
even
well.
with the fever coming down, she'd be
Yes.
so exhausted post fever, right? That like, and who knows? Maybe she was more or less like perfectly aware, and it's just she missed her parents and she was wondering when they were going to come home.
Yeah,
So she's
wasn't-
like, I'm gonna be there to greet you and
Yeah. Whatever the answer is, she's old enough that she knows how to
like work the door and
she knows how to move around and do all that stuff and everything. She's at least 6 or 7 at this
right.
point.
But not old enough to know that basically
Going out into the snow is
going out into the snow could be a bad idea. And once she's out there, oh shit, this isn't going well. Like maybe I should go back inside.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because of Nagis's whole thing of lacking confidence and and whatever. Oh, I want to be here to to greet mom and dad when they get back. But they come back and they see her lying unconscious in the snow. Holy shit! If that doesn't traumatize you and make you completely change your life, I don't know what will.
I don't know what will. I think for my folks, there are only a few times I think where something even close to this happened on the like they weren't there for one of their kids and something like that happened. But that's more like when a kid is like gets lost and like wanders off and stuff like that. And that's more of a thing of where they end up getting found and the kid is more scared because they haven't seen mom or dad or something like that. And the parents are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're okay.
Right.
But they know that when they find the kid again, the kid's okay.
Well, and yes, that too. But even the instance of the thing happening is not a conscious decision of this is okay. It's the
right. There's no guilt associated with it.
right. Hopefully not.
Or there's not nearly as much. To this
Exactly.
scale, this is something that, like, when you're talking about the traumatization, that is almost entirely the guilt aspect of it. Because one of the things that
Oh my
parents-
God, what have we done?
Yeah, one of the things that the parents probably had as a conversation was exactly that. The subject matter is, oh God, what have we done? And then it's we cannot let this happen again. That's why you make these kinds of dramatic life changes.
Yep.
And the fact that he won't share what he did. Because to him, there's a possibility that whatever his thing was that does reviles him, that he would even consider that to be
Above his daughter. Right, even for 2 hours.
Even for 2 hours.
Yeah,
So,
right. And it also potentially puts a new spin onto the antics that they get up to with regards to the bread with Sinai.
For sure.
oh, my bread's terrible. No, it's great. I potentially convinced you to give up your dream and that we could do this thing where we run a bakery because I'm good at making bread. Oh, turns out I'm not. And you had to learn it all from scratch in order to make this work.
Yep.
No, babe. It's fine.
Yeah.
This could totally just be their flirting and banter and all of that stuff so that way they can tell each other that they love each other. But it might not just be that.
Yeah.
And it might not have started with that.
Yeah.
So, that's there.
That's there.
But that's what I feel like, as in contrast to the situation with Tomoya's dad, that's what makes it a big Dango family.
Yeah,
is
sure.
that when that kind of stuff comes up, it's dealt with, it's addressed, it's talked about, right? It's not something where then you just treat your child like a stranger or your dad like a stranger, right? And you just never see each other, like you work through it.
Yeah.
But
oh my god. Okay. So we had ourselves some really good Nagisa Okazaki stuff here.
Yep.
And given that we're seeing them being more comfortable together, Sunahara also is picking up on God, bro, if you don't realize at this point that she's in love with you, I'm gonna go over there and I'll sweep her off her feet.
You don't deserve to.
You don't deserve this giant Toblerone. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'll look after Nunnally. It's something where Sunahara, for all his dumbass moments, he's a good dude.
He's a good dude, and he really has accepted the fact that this is the way things are going, even though he liked Nagisa maybe even earlier than Okazaki did, because she liked Okazaki extremely early. This is something where, okay, cool. We now have him supporting Okazaki as much as possible, and Okazaki went home. And now the dad didn't let that bullshit end up getting its way to Nagisa. And I really like this here, because one of the things that's rather a fine line that our dad here kind of has to walk is that he's falling in a goofy way into the trappings of the, you better, respect my daughter and not hurt her in any way. Otherwise I will bean you with a baseball bat kind of energy. Right. But he's also like, hey, my boy, come spend one-on-one time with me, your potential future father. I mean, yes. Right. So he's trying to, get him more comfortable around him and stuff, but also letting him know, hey, there's a bit of a burden that I'm sharing that I feel comfortable sharing with you, because I feel like at some point we're both going to potentially be sharing the burden of guarding and watching after and caring for Nagisa. So that's a thing that I need to start doing here.
And he is familiar with the idea of making mistakes. So,
this is a mistake that our boy made here. And he's like, you know what? I've seen this guy. He'll be back. We'll just be late to our little picnic thing. And I won't let her worry about this. Because
exactly. He covers for the negative repercussions when it comes to Nagisa. Right. But when Tomoya gets back, he's like, hey, because you did this, we can't go very far away now, right? And they still end up having a great time, but they need to go to the baseball field
across the street.
Right, exactly.
It's just why do we even need to set up it's literally the baseball field across the street. This is the place that they go and talk at, basically.
I believe so,
when it's nighttime and stuff. That's where Nagisa and Tomoya have sat at the bench, I think, a couple times.
Gotcha.
Throughout the season.
I love how it's just Akio and everyone else really not having Tomoya's shit, right? And yet, it's hey, come on, you are part of this family.
Yeah,
right?
There's ways that this can still get dragged out, even though she kind of confessed, because it was sprung on her a little bit, which means she's not necessarily thrilled that it was blurted out, because she feels a little vulnerable that, Tomoya didn't necessarily immediately respond, but he did kind of cheer her on to run. You've got this. Let's go. So there could be something there, but I could also see them immediately in the next episode, him be like, so that thing you said, and she'd be like, yeah, that was a bit, just sudden. Sorry about that. And he's like, no, that was, I liked that. He's like, oh, you did? Yeah. Oh, so what?
So,
what? And he's like, well, and then she's like, oh, you.
You don't, or
yeah. And then it's that awkward,
right.
high
and then
schooler
Akio
thing.
and Sanai are like listening in from the other room. They're like, yeah.
Go back to your bedrooms and flirt like actual teenagers. Come on. Oh my god, what am I suggesting?
Yep, exactly. Just to, deflect from the fact that he's like, oh god, what if my daughter finds out? And I love that it was brought up of, hey, but she does need to know.
Yeah.
And she's old enough to be able to handle it and stuff. And he's like, yes, you're right. I just want to make sure that I do it in a good way, And it almost seemed like that was the kind of thing that he was maybe intending to have happen at the picnic, but then all of a sudden, we're hanging out with a bunch of kids at a baseball field, and my daughter just confessed her love to him, so maybe now is not the time to talk about that kind of stuff. But,
yeah. I want to bring up something rather silly here. There's a unicycle in the shed here.
Yeah.
And I want to throw out that
what does it mean?
Of all the silly things that it could be, it could be that he wanted to be like a circus performer or some kind of like professional unicycler of some kind.
Like that,
and it's just a sport thing. It's not a work thing.
He definitely does have like
chaotic energy.
Yeah, like performer energy.
Yes. And of all the things that are in this shed here that they focus on, it's the shovel, the boxes, the ice chests, the like gas or oil,
See, the
canisters.
shovel is because they were getting ready to bury Nagisa.
Like a tatami mat of some kind, and then it's the ball and the unicycle. So I think it's the unicycle, and it's the thing of that something so silly as like a passion for a one-wheeled bike basically was basically what.
I can just see it now. Akio is going on the unicycle, juggling Sanai's bread.
The rainbow bread,
The rainbow bread, yes, exactly. That just makes it a more dazzling display.
Yes, for the most dazzling, bespectacled bread you've ever consumed. God, the Fuko surprise, though, where she's just like, and he's like, no. And then he like looks at the like kind of backwards.
Yeah, almost
like,
at the camera. Yeah.
I feel like something the exact opposite. A hungry bear's roaming around here.
Pretend to be a zombie. And then she does. And because of the whole amnesia thing regarding Fuko, as soon as she's gone, he completely forgets about it. Oh yeah, Nagisa's the first person he ran into.
And I love that throughout all this, Tsunohara is still laying at the door in just dejected pain.
It is the kind of thing where, personally, there's that part of me that wishes it was something where Tsunohara is thinking like, oh yeah, the first person, the first like girl that comes up and talks to me or something, and then like, something happens and he does run into somebody, but he like discounts it or whatever. He's like, well, clearly that doesn't mean anything, because Tsunohara has shown enough positive qualities that I do want him to find his happiness.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah, it's not his story.
It's not his story right now. Yeah, exactly. Maybe an after story. Maybe.
No, that's what it is. Didn't you know? It's all just Tsunohara, right? He's like, now that Tomoya is with Nagisa, what do I do?
God. I wanted to bring up, where was it? In the episode here. The story, essentially, being something about a girl.
Oh, yeah, the girl in the world where she was alone and makes the robot.
Yeah, exactly.
The stuff we've been seeing.
So one of the things that I was thinking about is that this could be a hallucination brought upon by the fever that she had during that time.
Ooh.
And during the times where
she was all alone in a room.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
a snowy, like, Fantasia.
Yeah, exactly. That was the sad ending, basically. Was that she had to say goodbye to the friends because then her parents were always around her at that point. And so she never ended up in a situation where she needed to basically rely on them. But one of the things that could also be kind of tapping a bit into the supernatural potential aspects of this is that her fever literally gave her this
in the brush with death, she saw into the beyond.
She saw into the beyond kind of thing, and this is some kind of fantastical realm that
and
she went to, where she was kind of like that's why I think it's a dream, is that she was kind of potentially the god of this world, where she created things that could be
because I think
animated and talk, or not really talk, but animated.
This thing
can't exist.
Came to life somehow, and yet right, because there's the bear robot, right, which came to life. Okay,
so obvious fantastical elements.
No, right, but then the other one didn't
exactly,
right. So there's some limitations to that, right, and like there was some other stuff talking about like was it like a place where wishes come true or something like that, or I can't remember.
I don't know.
There was but. If this is a real thing and this is like the supernatural aspect of like Nagisa's storyline potentially,
what I think it is more that she was maybe realizing that she would have to leave this world, so she was trying to make a friend for her friend before she left.
Ah, sure.
So she's trying to like design basically like a friend, and this one's like, oh yeah, and then it doesn't wake up, and then she apologizes to it because it didn't work basically. And if the world ended, but not the girl, that makes sense that the space that she was inhabiting in this, like, imaginative, what have you, had to come to an end at some point. And then it's like a dream because it was a part of maybe the fever hallucination. And weirdly enough, dreams are like that, where you'll latch onto specific images and elements of it, and you'll know that there's a story there, but dreams are weird. You won't usually feel or understand the connective tissue that took you from key moment, place to place when you wake up. So that's why it's really important, if you want to keep your dreams like really like aware of them, you have to quickly write them down,
right? Because it's
immediately upon waking up. Because
your brain soup. Yeah.
Your brain auto dumps a lot of the unimportant info from dream stuff, like within like a minute or two upon waking up.
Now, afterwards, Tomoya says, I feel like I've seen that before, but I don't know when or where I saw it.
Yeah, I think that Tomoya has just in general been involved more so than he thinks in the lives of the people that he's been connected to in the story.
Like how with Kotomi, he actually had met her before, he just forgot his, a childhood friend from way back.
Yeah, and I think this is just another one of those instances where his own struggle in life situation has led him to be constantly in survival mode, so he doesn't have good associated memories of his past, so he dumps a lot more than is necessary because he needs to be able to keep moving forward.
Was when we're way past the point where I had like dropped Clannad when I like had gone to watch it the first time.
Yeah.
But the thing that pulled me back to it was those scenes with the girl and the robot and everything, because they're just so atmospheric. I love them. And I would literally dream about different possible interpretations of what it was, because I had to know, and that's what kept bringing me back to the show. And one of the things that I like had gotten as this general vibe, just from stuff before now, right, was like, what if it's some kind of like common interdimensional space or whatever, right? Like the whole Kotomi thing, and it's, because it feels so important, right? And also something that also can't really be understood, But, and then like the way it worked into the OP and everything with the robot waking up in the snow and all that stuff.
I would love to have it be some kind of fate thing where it's like they were meant to be there to help each other. And the story is basically about how they both helped each other, but they needed something that was a shared struggle. And this space that she remembers or what have you is maybe a shared dream space of sorts, where he was the animated bot thing. Like, like he had a dream that he was a mechanical thing that would go to this space to basically retreat because he felt dead inside or what have you. And there was this beautiful young girl that would be there and would comfort him and hold him and stuff. And he the
family member that he wished he could have.
Exactly. And that was something that they shared without knowing that they were sharing it. So then when they're together in the real world, then they have like this little tingle, this vibe of like, something feels right when I'm with you.
Well, and it makes sense.
And they don't understand it,
It kind of, I feel like it thematically fits too, because
it's Red String of Fate kind of stuff.
Red String of Fate kind of deal, but like Tomoya's family situation, his home situation, was one that was very cold, right? in like an emotional sense. There wasn't
Sure.
any warmth, right? And then he goes to the Furukawa place and he's like, oh,
It's so bubbly.
it's so bubbly.
so,
Is this what
yeah,
family is supposed to
lively.
be like, you know? And I don't know if I don't think there's necessarily like a literal connection that's supposed to be made here, but the big scare with Nagisa happened when she ended up being left out in the cold, right? After being in this warm house and warm family and all that stuff. And I don't know, it's one of those things where it feels beautifully connected, even if it's not necessarily something that can be technically explained.
Yeah, I feel like the show has a very specific interpretation. It's just there's no real like hard evidence for whatever it is yet. It's more just things where unless we're maybe able to solve it by like having all the scenes lined up chronologically, like from like what we've gotten since episode like 1 or 2 all the way till now, and you just watch them all together, maybe there's a picture that you can glean.
Right.
But I think it's still a thing of where no, there's a hard interpretation of it that is very much either it's entirely supernatural, or it's a blend of it with like some kind of the physical aspects of Nagisa not being like, physically well. And
I do like your idea of the fever hallucination / like snow and being left alone in a room and all that stuff, and maybe that's where it came from, because they were asking that question this entire episode, and then the one answer that Tomoya ended up getting that wasn't about that question does feel parallel to that question.
It does feel parallel.
So, yeah.
But okay. A Fuko appearance that I actually really liked. So good job, show. Good job. I very much appreciated that, because that was silly. But the fact that like immediately he's like, no, shut the fuck up.
Not now. Right?
I'm like, wow, they get me. I love Fuko. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry, Fuko. Your time has come and gone.
But starfish,
She didn't have a starfish at this point.
Yeah, she didn't do her dance, right? Like her little like waving the starfish around and.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, this isn't the goddamn magical girl anime.
Wait, what? Excuse me? You tell me that Fuko isn't a magical girl?
No, Sunahara's the magical girl. What are you talking about?
Okay, that's fair. It's fair. But
he goes through so many transformation sequences just to try and get,
just to recover from Tomoya's beatdowns.
Right, exactly. Beatdowns, yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.